Hello, my dear students. As in the last class, I have told you about the application software, and before that, you also got some knowledge, some information about the system software, in which I have told you about the translators. Okay, all the different type of translators. Okay, I have a compiler, assembler, translator. These were interpreter. These were the translating software. So in this session, in this video, as I have told you, I will complete the system software only. One part was left, that was operating system. Okay, hence in the operating system, it's lengthy one, and it will be covered in the two video. First video, the need of the operating system is very much important. Okay, the need of the operating system. So what is the operating system? Operating system occupies the prime position between the hardware and the user application. So need is, it occupies, first of all, operating system, if we are talking about prime, occupies a prime position, main place, that place where like a president used to do so many work. Okay, prime minister used to do. These are those positions where the people used to go and have to do lot of the effort, give the lot of the effort for the country. That, like, similarly, operating system, that position is on that position in which they are. It has to do most of the work, like interacting between the, or communicating between the hardware and the user application. Means the user, whatever application the user is downloading, that communication between the hardwares. So you can also say that occupying the prime position of the, between the prime position between. Okay, one point could be explained like this: operating system. Another, it is the interface between the hardware and the user or application, user application, or you are the user, you are using some application. That application information, instruction or command will be given to the computer, but with the help of the operating system. Or it makes the interaction between the who is using the system, computer, and the computer hardware. Okay, interaction, interface, or prime position, all can be included inside the or can be said as a about the operating system. Okay, or these all terms, just keep in mind, if you will forget the definition, if you will forget the information about anybody will ask you what is the operating system, any of the point there will be in your mind, you can explain about the operating system that I have created, or you have to read between the paragraph of the book. You will get this point, and it is most important point by which you can create lot of the definitions for the operating system. You can define it properly. Okay, hence I have told you, so need of the operating system to make the interaction between the user or hardware and the user application. Okay, hardware means hardware, not only computer is having the different resources, means hardware resources like printer or other devices which is connected to the computer. Those kind of resources can be used, or a hard disk inside the computer system. So those hardware, all the hardware resources are interacted with that communication between the computer and the application software. So you can also say it is a prime position between the hardware resources and the user application. Okay, so this was the need. One more point I would like to include. This is all about the definition, or you can convert this definition as the need of the operating system. These are the tasks which generally operating system is made for. Okay, another point, operating system, when it is working, you can't see the working of the operating system. It keep on working in the background. That's why we can write it here. Background works in the background, BG, and acts means behave for as a host, means he doesn't comes forward. It is backward only working, but doing the main task. Okay, so acts as a host, and for host for what? You are using the operating system, but you are not telling that I have done the work on Windows 7 or Windows 8 or this kind of operating system. I have done the work on Microsoft Excel, or I have done work. You are taking the name of the application software, but that application software, all the communication or process is managed by the operating system. Okay, so acts as a host for application software. Okay, works in the background but acts as a host for the application software. Means main function is done by the operating system that application software has to do. Okay, then after one more points, need of the that's why we need the operating system, because it does this work. This is the work, because of why we need a OS. Okay, then after manages file, folder, all the information or data which is in the computer. Operating system keep on checking and verifying it, means availabilities of the file and folder. Then after resource, whatever you connect to the computer, those all devices, means hardware resources allocation, allocation, and D allocation. Means see how many points I have given. This points tells you that when you connect anything and disconnect anything, allocation and deallocation, means it is connected and it will be shown. It is not, you will remove, it will be not shown. So allocation and deallocation of any of the resource will be managed by the operating system. So many needs are there of the operating system. So many more are there. So according to the book information only, I am telling you that you have to remember the need of the operating system. Because of these tasks we require operating system. In the operating system, as I have told you in the last class, that I am going to tell you about the 4 different things, means function of the operating system, need of the operating system, type of the operating system based on user interface, type of the operating system based on functionality. These 2 points I will cover in the next video. But need of the operating system you understood clearly, and definition can be prepared by this work. Okay, why we need, that is the work, this is the work of the operating system. The operating system does this kind of task. And now come on to the function of the operating system. Okay, you are ready for understanding this point? Function, what does the operating system does? First point, those who are not having the book, get it soon, because it will be very much difficult. Hence you can use my content as a notes also. Okay, so this content which is written in the book, that only exactly I am telling, but the language is the method that I have just implemented and added something else to explain those sentences, to those lines. Okay, program, first point is program execution. Okay, first point is in the book, function of the operating system, program execution. In the program execution, receive command from, see, when any application is you are operating on the operating system, you are using on the operating system, they sends a command, they gives a command to do the task to the computer, but in between what comes? Operating system used to come. That operating system receives the command from the application and interprets. Okay, interprets that command which is given by the application software, and then after interpreting, means converting into the machine code, then it executes. Means anybody is telling you in another language you are not able to understand, then there will be someone who knows very well that language. They will understand what that particular person want to tell, and they will convert it into your language. First interpretations, no, they will converting process will go on in the mind. Okay, he told this thing, and now he will start executing. So first interpretations will be there, and then execute. So this is done by the operating system. Program execution, any program execution in this point receives the command and interprets it into the binary or machine language, and then execute, then final complete that task. Okay, executions means completing that task for the result purpose. Okay, so first point clear to you all. This is a function, one kind of function of the operating system, program execution. Okay, it executes any of the program given by any application software, any kind of application software. Second point, processor management. In this we have to see that it runs more than one processor, means in the operating system, hence there are so many parts, so many components are there in the motherboard who used to collaborate or give some effort in doing the task. They all are, so many chipsets is there, chips are embedded inside the motherboard. They all contribute them for doing the task. So different type of processor together, they work at a time. These all controlling of all this task is done by the operating system. That's why I'm saying processor management means multiple processor, not only one, many processors are involved in doing the certain task. And that involvement, sometimes what happens, switching off processor work also happens in the operating in the task of computer. Means one, this is a processor, this is also a processor in the computer, this is also a processor, 1 2 3 different. Sometimes this a task is given, that particular task, some of the work has to be done by this processor, some of the work has to be done by this processor. So in that only process, switching of tasks from one processor to another to another, this is decided or managed by the operating system. Okay, so what is written, it runs more than one processor. Operating system runs or use more than one processor at a time, at a time for doing the task. More than one, sometimes more than one processor are working together, or sometimes in the same task it has to be switched over the processor. Means that task has to be completed by processor number this one, and that one means switching off the task, changing the task. Some a work is given to the class, you can switch your work to the to complete that task by student to student. Some task will be done by the student A and some task will be done by student B, or whole together can do the same task, and finally the touch up will be given. Like that only processor is managed. There is a vast, very big task for managing the processor in the separate way. That is done by the operating system. See, such a heavy work, such a huge work that operating system is managing, isn't? Then after third point, input output devices. Means allocations of all the input and output devices are managed. Means allocation and deallocation, means fixing and not fixing the removing the input and output. So many devices that I have told you how many devices were there in your book. So those all task is done. Connecting, non-connecting part and controlling those devices are done by the operating system. First point was done, I told you program execution. Second point I told you processor management, and third point input output management. Okay, in which allocation and deallocation and controlling everything comes. So monitor is also which comes in a output device. Keyboard, mouse, and many speaker, these all comes in a speaker comes in an output device, keyboard, mouse comes in an input device. So these all are managed by the OS. Okay, then after fourth point, file management, because hence you are using the computer for information, and information has to be stored in the computer, isn't? Those information which is stored in the computer is in the form of file or data. That management, that it has to be organized according to the space, according to the character size, file space of the computer. That is settled or stored in the computer in the organized manner. That has to be that comes under the file management of the operating system. Okay, so all the file which is organized according to date wise modification, whatever modification is done, like you have stored yesterday, and some data you have stored in the last year, so according to the date wise also you can find it, because operating system stores it and have the information also when it has been stored, how much big size it was, which file it was, type of file also. In the file system very much deeply you are going to get the knowledge in this chapter only at the last. So these all things are managed by the operating system. Okay, file management means in this organized pattern. Okay, we can write file management organized pattern. Now memory management. In the memory management, file management over, and file is stored in the memory only of the operating system. Different memory is there, secondary, primary, these all memory having this so much specific space. So that space sometimes data comes, sometimes data allocated, sometimes data deallocated, remove, you delete your data, you edit your data, you format your data. This kind of task is done on the memory of the computer. This task is managed by the operating system. All the memory finally how much space is yet required, and it is like when memory is going to fill completely, then indication should come that now your memory is about to complete. So this kind of many thing is there which comes under the all the memory management by the operating system. Now error, trapping and hiding, deallocation, handling. Error, trapping and handling. See, shortcut I have written because space is not there. Error, E for error, T for trapping and handling. Okay, error, find out the error. Many work is done which sometimes becomes incomplete or due to some technical or malfunctions of the computer. You might be knowing some defects of the computer that error used to generate. Okay, that error used to generate, and that information is also given by the operating system. Okay, this is the error, this is the incomplete work, mistake which is done by this cause. Okay, that cause is also given. That trapping, they find out the error, they fetch the error, they search that, they seek the error. Seeking means finding. Okay, they seek the error and then they handle it also. Some of the error can be removed by the operating system itself. So this kind of task is done by the operating system. Error, trapping and handling. Understood? Means detecting error which occurs, detect them and handle them. Option are either they will give you the way of how to handle, they will give you the information how to handle that error. Then lastly the information. In the information They protect your resources, the data which is in your computer, the hardware resource, software resource, by preventing them, by putting them the security. Okay, in the information, of course we are talking about the information, it means the data. We are talking about the information, that information which is stored as a data in your computer. So protect the resource from damage. Okay, from unauthorized people. If you are in the your computer is in the network, then nobody can take your system or see your content, see your information. They protect it. And one point is there, unintentionally damage. Some damage is done unintentionally, means you suddenly the system goes off, light goes, and your system shut down because there is no backup. It can damage your file. So in this case, when your system restarts, when the light comes, and they recover it, they recover your data, and they look that position when your system has not been shut down properly. They try to fetch that those work which has been done at last. So unintentionally the system has been shut down, means forcefully you have not shut down your system, suddenly it happens. There was no intention to damage your work. So in that case also operating system works. So line you understood, it is written in the book, unintentionally damages, they look out after that also for saving your information, and can handle data, prevent unauthorized. They can handle the data, they will prevent from unauthorized access. As I have told you in the beginning already, unauthorized access. Okay, prevent data. Okay, so the point which I have told you today, in the function of operating system: program execution, program management, processor management, input output management, file management, memory management, error trapping and handling, and information. This is in the book also. So function of the operating system over, need of the operating system also over. Now I will cover this one type of operating system based on the interface and the functionality. Next video you are going to get. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.